Today we're checking out an overlooked PO-20 feature.
Freebie.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shoutout goes to Kickfoot. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I find ending songs difficult, and that is especially true on the pocket operators. You only get 16-step patterns to work with. And so when you're working on, your compositions for those patterns and then you start chaining them, it can be kind of tricky to get like a really concise and definitive ending. I'm sure most pocket operator users are guilty of coming up with 16 amazing patterns and then, chaining them, letting them all play through, and then you realize, oh no, it just goes on forever. Well, the PO-20 Arcade has a feature that I think is really overlooked, and it takes care of that ending problem very easily. It's called fade. Hopefully you can see this right here, but between the play button and the effects button, I had to stop and think about what those were because I'm looking at it from the side. Between those two buttons, you can see the word fade is written in. And as you might have guessed, fade will simply fade out the pattern that is currently playing. And it actually completely fades the pattern out and then stops the sequencer, which is really, really cool. You also might be wondering why I have the Korg NTS1 here, and that's because I think the fade feature works really well with some kind of reverb. And, we're talking pocket operators and reverb, I gotta bring out the NTS1. So let me show you how this works. What we're gonna do is come up with a couple of patterns here, a couple basic patterns on the PO-20. Let's do something kind of, mid-tempo-y, like 100, 101, 102, sure, fine. Let's take our kick drum here, let's give ourselves 4 on the floor. Get a good cymbal sound. There we go. We'll use that for our snare drum, 2 and 4. Nice. Not going to get crazy with the drums. We're just making a simple pattern. I did copy that little groove into 4 different patterns, though, so we can do something melodically. Let's switch to our bass. There we go. Let's just go ahead and go 16ths. Sure. Apparently, I've still got a chord change saved. Sounds like it's probably A minor and G major. Knowing me and trying to remember the last time I used the arcade, that's fine. We'll just leave that as is. And I just copied the pattern again with the bass line into all 4 of our slots here. Let's switch to something that we can use for a melody. Okay, let's chain all 4 of our patterns. I'm just going to play a rhythm in now. Okay, let's make sure we're on pattern 1. Yep, you can see it flashing in there. Let's turn on write mode and give ourselves some notes here. I'm just going to kind of sequence some random stuff, I think. Yeah, and I'll just go to pattern 2, do the same thing. Not really caring about what I'm sequencing here, just coming up with a random little melody just by randomly turning the knob. And last pattern here. I do know that we are ending on, I believe, A minor, so I will put it back to A, I think. Yeah, that's fine, even though I think the last chord is a G. Anyway, none of that matters. I'm just messing around. Let's chain all 4 of our patterns here and have a listen. I hate that first note. We're going to change that. Let's make it a D, sure. Okay, got carried away jamming, but you get the idea. We brought in the chords. It sounds lovely. So let me tell you how fade works. We're going to play our pattern. Then when we want the fade to start happening, we're first going to hold the effects button. And as we're holding that down, we are then going to press the play button. So we're then holding both buttons down, and you will actually see a little down arrow show up on the screen. So let me show you what that looks like. Here we go. There's the down arrow. And as you can see, it stopped the sequencer. How cool is that? It also is completely agnostic of any kind of pattern chains or changes or anything like that. So you can just chain right through patterns and change patterns, and the fade will stay active. Awesome. And after you've activated the fade out, you can still hold the effects button and use your 16 different punch-in effects, and yes, they will fade out as well. And honestly, I think the fade is pretty smooth, especially for how overlooked the feature is. Finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, let's throw some reverb on here. We'll just go with the basic hall reverb, why not? And you can have a listen at how good this sounds. Just a nice extra little touch on the fade that fills out the sound and makes it that much better. So in a comment below, let me know if you knew about the fade out. I know some of you did because you've left comments about it, but truth be told, I never really started using it until very recently, and I think it works really well. It's a great way to end a piece, especially if it's on an album, if you're doing like an all PO album or something like that, or an all arcade album. Yeah, it's just a great feature to have, and I don't know, I felt it was overlooked, so I wanted to cover it in a video. Speaking of this video, I do hope you found it informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too, doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.